What was your reaction when you found out about this project, and how did that happen, and what did you think?
I was really excited. Chris and Phil contacted me, and they said that we want you to be in it, and they told me who else was in it, and it was Zach and Michael Peña and Fred Armisen, and I was just like, this is the best cast of all time. I was very excited to do it.
Yeah, it's such a murderer's row. It's like a list you want to see your own name on when you see the cast list. And also the previous Lego movies have been so imaginative and funny and sort of unexpected, surprising.
Yeah. It's the only time I'm ever going to work with Jackie Chan, I think. I mean, yes.
And the truth is that they're doing things different with the Lego movies. They have a tone, they have a humor, they have a look. Obviously, it's clearly different to anything else. I don't know if you agree with me.
Yeah, I think what's cool about these movies is, you know, the first one was so surprising for people because people didn't really know what a Lego movie would be, and then the way it really incorporated the experience of playing with Legos, because in the first one, you know, it sort of cuts to the real world and it sort of recasts the whole movie. It sort of was mind-blowing, and it was really sophisticated and funny, and then
had some teeth.
Yeah, it had actual teeth, and then Lego Batman was fantastic. Yeah, I think they've done an amazing job with these movies.
Let's talk about the characters you play, because first of all, it must be so cool to play a ninja, but each ninja is so different and has its own special things. If you could talk a bit about the ninja that you play and what you like about that.
I like that the character I play, Zane, is a robot who aspires to be a normal teen, and I think that's very similar to the experience of lots of teens, which is that you feel sort of outside of the main clique or whatever. So I like playing alienation, which in this case is due to the fact that he's a robot, but I think is realistic for any teenager.
Yeah, and I like, my character's sort of really at the mercy of his emotions. He feels everything all the time. He gets very scared, he gets very excited, he gets very nervous, so it's just fun. Because, in your real life you get scared and nervous and excited, and you sort of have to try and normalize it. You have to try and play it down. So it was fun to play a character where you didn't have to. You could just really go to the extremes.
Speaking of how fun it is to play these characters, can you talk a bit about the process? Because many actors say that voicing an animated characters is like nothing else, and some people say it's just great, it's freeing, it's different, you don't have to worry about what you're wearing. I don't know. How was it in your case?
It was great. Well, the interesting thing is, we sort of recorded this over the course of 2 years. So when you're shooting a movie or something, it's never that long. So you really get to figure out who these characters are over the course of years. And it's a lot more freeing because they haven't animated it yet. So they let us improvise, and when you improvise, they can actually build a world around an improv.
Yeah.
A lot of freedom.
For me, it was difficult because since it took place for several years, my voice changed in the middle, and most people that happens when you're 13. But I had sort of late onset puberty, and so. But I was glad that they couldn't see my acne, adolescent acne.
But you'll see in the movie, because we recorded it out of order, so in certain scenes, Zach is definitely, his voice is much higher, and then suddenly he's sort of the grown-up timber you hear now.
How was the improvising part of it? Did the director encourage that? Were you getting in the booth and then kind of doing...
They were incredibly encouraging, and you could even say tolerant, because sometimes you'll go on these long digressions that probably have no real utility to them in the edit, but they were incredibly supportive anytime we wanted to try something. They let us try it.
A lot of stuff that would never be in a kid's movie.
Yeah. It could get dark.
And I believe you all got together one day. How was that?
It was great. I'd known everybody except I didn't know Michael Peña, and I didn't know Justin Theroux, and Jackie Chan actually wasn't there. So it was really exciting to be able to sort of play off of everyone. We'd spent over a year recording these on our own, and then to suddenly do it and have somebody respond in that character's voice, I was like, we should be doing this the entire time.
Also, it's much easier to improvise and find new, fun, comedic moments in reaction to other people when you're just in a booth by yourself giving sort of different versions of the same line, it's much harder to find surprising charged moments because it's just you all by yourself. So having other people to play off of and discover the unique comedic chemistry between each of the configurations of characters was fun. And also, you don't feel like such a crazy person when you're recording. You're just in a booth by yourself talking to yourself for hours, and so to have other people there is a welcome relief.
And the movie has those messages too of the importance of being a team, of finding family where maybe you didn't know you had it. I think there's some beautiful messages there. I don't know what spoke to you about it.
Yeah, I think all that stuff. I think it's funny, like Dave Franco talks about how at one point when he was shooting, he became emotional because I guess he just found the whole father-son thing so emotionally evocative that he started tearing up. And I think when there's there's lots of fighting and there's lots of jokes, but I think for a movie like this to work, there has to be a relatable emotional core to it. And so I'm glad that exists in this.
Yeah, and I like that the message is, it's about finding family and stuff, but it's also about being comfortable with who you are and being comfortable with who other people are and sort of learning to have relationships with people, not try and control them or change them, but accept them and yourself as they and you are. That was a very awkwardly constructed sentence.
No, I quite liked it. You should accept it exactly as it was.
And most importantly, the movie's a lot of fun. It's really entertaining.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And I think in this day and age, that's important, to make people have a good time in the theater, adults and kids.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's what's great about these movies is that adults and kids, they truly appeal to all ages, and that's rare. Parents don't just have to tolerate this movie; they can genuinely get excited about watching it.
And what is it about Lego it's this very simple toy, right? It's been for decades with us, even now with all this technology and everything, and we seems to be more successful than ever.
Well, I think it's because it's simple. It doesn't intrude on your game, right? Like if there's so many things where you have to play with it in a very specific way, but I remember as a kid, there's so much flexibility in terms of what you can do with Legos, even like mixing worlds together, and so I think because the simplicity is probably why it's been so enduring.
And for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the only way you could improve Lego is if they put some apps on them,
Yeah, there should be apps on them.
Download apps on them, like Twitter or whatever, any of them, or somehow take a selfie with Lego or something. I think that's the only thing that's really missing.
Trulia, like a little Trulia app.
Yeah.
And let's admit it, and especially now that you have the sword in your hand, it's cool to be a ninja.
It's the best. Since I was a kid, I wanted to be a ninja, and I finally got to be a ninja. Wow.
Look at that.
Yeah.
How do you prepare the role of a ninja? I'm just wondering, what did you guys do?
It was. Go ahead.
Yeah, very little.
Very little.
In terms of like understanding.
We didn't learn ninjutsu or anything.
We didn't go. We didn't move to the hills in Asia to try to learn.
I can't touch
arts.
the tips of my toes.
No. I failed the presidential physical fitness test throughout junior high school.
And the people that surround you, are they like, oh my God, you're so cool, you're in the Lego Ninjago movie?
Well, we don't hang out with children a lot, so
Yeah.
we don't really get that very much. I mean, I had no idea how popular Ninjago was. I mean, I was aware of it. I knew what it was. But it's been really surprising to see, it's a big, huge thing.
People get feral about Ninjago.
Yeah.
It's like Hard Day's Night.
Kids get real about Ninjago.